The group chat is going crazy about a track day in December, and I need a car to take. I need something cheap, easy to work on, with parts that are readily available, that's great fun out on track, but you can also live with it daily. So there was only one car that sprung to mind. That's right, I've bought a 2008 Mini Cooper S. It's an R56, so it means it's got the turbocharged engine, and guys, I am so excited. This car is the perfect mix of understated daily driver and weekend track warrior. What do you think? Well, let's get this in the barn and have a look. As you can see, on cold start, this car is super quiet. So it means when I leave my house in the morning, I'm not going to disturb my neighbours. But when it's warmed up, it sounds super antisocial, and I love it. So what have I got and how much have I spent? Both valid points that I will get onto. First of all, how much did I pay for this? Well, it was £2,000. That's right, it's not the cheapest Mini Cooper S in the UK. It's not the cheapest one on YouTube. And I know there have been channels out there that have spent £400–500 on an R56, but then ended up sinking £5,000 or £6,000 in it to make it a great car. Guys, I don't know about you, but I can't afford to chuck £5,000 at a car. No, I need something that is cheap, affordable, and usable pretty much straight out the gate. But we have some things that we need to fix on this. This car's far from perfect, but I think we've got a handful of jobs to do that we can do with a sensible budget and get this thing back on the road and, more importantly, ready for the racetrack. So let's have a look and see what we've actually bought, what's wrong with it, and why I bought this particular car. And no, not just because it was cheap. I know, right? That's personal growth. Looking under the bonnet, as you can see, it's got an AEM intake along with an AEM anti-roll bar. It's got the heat shield to sit above the turbo to reduce intake temps, I guess. It stops the hot air from the turbo here rising up and then just getting sucked in. I guess that's what it's for. But yeah, do you know what? This car's got a stack of history and someone has loved this. So we're gonna take this neglected little Mini and make it great again. So we've got about £500 worth of goodies underneath the bonnet here, but we can't get distracted by shiny bits. No, I think we need to plug this in and check for any codes that could mean we've got some serious problems. So let's get in the car, plug it in, and see exactly what we're up against. The good news is we can plug our Carly scanner in, and using the app, it provides us with manufacturer level diagnostics, coding, customization, and access to hidden information about your car. And with our Carly plugged in to our car's OBD port, we can now use the Carly app to scan the car to see if there's any troublesome fault codes. Let's have a look. Let's see what Carly thinks of the condition of our Mini. And the results are in. Oh no, very bad. So we've got 5 issues with the engine, 6 issues with the footwell module. We've got air conditioning problems, airbag safety module problems, cluster problems, gateway problems. Oh, this is very bad. But these codes could be from a while back. So the best thing we can do is we can delete these codes, clear the memory, and then we can see what comes back. And they're the problems that we need to tackle. And now we've cleared those codes, we can see that actually it's not so bad. And a lot of these, because it's a Mini, are due to undervoltage, where the battery is a bit low. So it needs a good charge or a good run, and then we should stop seeing these codes. Carly is dedicated to helping car owners troubleshoot issues, maintain car health, and unlock exciting features for maximum vehicle enjoyment. So by using Carly, you can understand your car's problems and stop being worried about being overcharged by mechanics. Along with diagnostics, you can also see further details about your car. So as you can see, we can see that the mileage on this car is 95,883. Now we can check that against the car to make sure that it hasn't been clocked or changed at any point. Another great thing with Carly is that you can unlock your car's hidden features using the coding menu. So if we select coding here, and then we can check to see what hidden features we can unlock. If we go into the dashboard, I've got a feeling there's a feature that I'm going to really like. Oh, digital speedometer permanent. That's what I want. On these Minis, you've got the centre binnacle with the speedometer in it, but you've also got the option to have a digital speedometer in your rev counter. that you can flick through and select. But using Carly, I can select that so that it is permanently on whenever I start the car. So as you can see, there's so many different options to choose from to really personalize your car's features. And you too can save money and improve your driving experience by using Carly. And if you use the link in the description and the code BARNCLUB, you'll get 15% off your Carly order. Thanks Carly for sponsoring this video. And now we know what our problems are, we can get to work fixing them. Even with its problems, I absolutely love this car. And there are a few things that really made me think, yeah, do you know what? This is a good car. It's got good bones. It's a great one to start with. Having a look at it, we've got the aero kit. So it just looks a bit more sporty. Now it's got these questionable stripes, which I'm not a fan of. We've got a larger hood scoop, and that obviously feeds into the AEM induction kit. That should help the engine breathe a bit better. So we've got some anthracite wheels on there. I kind of like the style, but I don't know if I'm a fan of the color. We've got these chrome mirror caps, which I am really not a fan of, along with these chrome covers in here. I'm kind of worried to look behind there in case I find something really nasty. We've got some plastic handle covers as well to cover there. Actually, right, hold on. So we've got chrome mirror caps and we've got chrome like scratch guard things, whatever you call them, the little guards. But then we've got black covers covering the chrome handles. What was this person thinking? But anyway, around the rest of the car, we've got, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We've got the obviously full aero kit, side skirts, bumpers. We've got these rather large John Cooper Works tailpipes, which sound really good. But other than that, it's pretty standard outside. I mean, this could be any Mini Cooper S with an aero kit, a set of wheels and an exhaust. And there's plenty out there for this sort of money. Inside the car, we've got a full black leather interior, but then also something that is really nice. One of the previous owners has installed a double DIN Pioneer Apple CarPlay head unit. I mean, that means I don't have to mess around with cheap Android CarPlay stereos for this car. It's already done. Down here as well, we've got climate control, which is brilliant. We've got some red and carbon fiber looking trims in here. Now, sadly, that isn't real carbon fiber. It is just a vinyl wrap. We've also got the little glove box there works at the top, which is really nice. And we've got sport, traction and DSC buttons as well. So on the whole, this Mini is actually pretty well spec'd, and it's a great base to start this daily track car project. So I think what we need to do is look at what's wrong with it, because as I said, it's got no MOT and it wouldn't pass if I put it in tomorrow. So we need to address some of the issues, but I don't think it's that bad. First up, we've got problems with the brakes. We've got a judder coming from the front end. Now I'm hoping it's just discs and pads. The chances are this car was ragged, senseless, and so the brake discs could be a little bit warped. So we're gonna put some new discs and pads on the front, but also one of the rear calipers is sticking. What is it with me and rear brake calipers? This has got a sticking rear brake caliper. We had the Caddy, that had a sticking caliper. We've got the black Jetta, that also had a sticking caliper. And even my red R53, that failed its MOT due to a rear brake imbalance. So that's right, you guessed it, it's probably a sticking caliper. But anyway, I don't think this is too bad, and we're pretty well versed at changing calipers now. Right, we're gonna jack it up and take a look at this rear wheel. I mean, I think it is what it is, but I'll show you what I mean. Right, so we've got the handbrake off and we've got the driver's side rear wheel. Oh, gee, yeah. There we go. Oh, that is definitely stuck. So we're gonna have to address that along with the front brakes. What else have we got? Now there is one more problem with this, and it is deep down here. Yeah, so underneath all of this shiny goodness, there's another reason why this car won't pass an MOT, and I suspect it possibly wouldn't pass sound check at a racetrack either, because we've got a drive-by limit of 97 decibels at Donington. And yeah, I don't know that this will pass. I will probably get black flagged. So the problem we've got that you can't see, the previous owner decided that he wanted to make this car faster and louder. And one of the ways that he did that was by fitting a decap. Now that's not going to pass an MOT, guys. So we need to put a cap back on this car to get it legal, and also maybe bring the noise down a little bit, because I really don't think that this car will pass the 97 decibel drive-by limit at Donington Park. So it means we've got this. We're going to have to fit a 200 cell race cap that we picked up. It looks like it's 3 bolts there onto the turbo, and then we've got the clamp at the bottom. So hopefully it shouldn't be a particularly difficult job, but I think we're going to have to at least take this top section off to give us some access. But worst case, we're going to have to take the front bumper off, the rad off, and all of that. Now, with the front end jacked up and kind of everything at eye level, there's a couple of things that I've noticed. I mean, it was there, I knew it, but it's just refreshed my memory. So looking at the front bumper here, this corner has all cracked off and it's got some staples and stuff in it. Now, I think this is quite common on these bumpers because I've seen a lot for sale with corners like this. So I think while we get this front end off, it's probably a good idea for us to maybe just a bit of JB Weld, you know, I love my JB Weld, or something just to kind of fix that bumper, make it smooth, something that we can sand flat and that's going to be strong. So that's on the list as well. Now, another thing, the front tyres on this, it was advised on the MOT and it's only done like 400 miles since the last one, but you can see that the tyres are super low. So another thing to put on the list, another pair of tyres. So on the back, there's what looks like a nearly new set of Rain Sports. So I think that's £185 we're going to have to spend on new tyres. And with the wheel off, we can see here, we've got the wear marks. I mean, there's a little bit of life in these tyres, but definitely going to get called out on the MOT, and you wouldn't want to take these on a track day, would you? So look, it's cold, it's damp. We do not want dodgy tyres on this car. So these are definitely going to go in the bin, and we'll get some Rain Sports ordered. With the wheels off and it jacked up, there's no point in hanging around. Let's get it stripped down and see what's involved in getting the car off. So we'll make a start with the bumper and the lights. But there's some questionable parts here. These are not OE. Now, back in 2013, this car was actually a Category N, Category S write-off. Now, unfortunately, there's no pictures of what actually happened, but there is some questionable repairs on this car. Again, I don't know why we've got wood screws holding this arch on, so maybe we need to put another arch on the list. But then also, around the back of the car, we've got, well, the tailgate's had paint, and you can see that this rear quarter and the boot lid here aren't perfect. I mean, it's a red Mini, so, I mean, what are we expecting? But I think this has had paint around here because we can see, yeah, we can see that they're a different shade here to here. But on this side, again, that too is slightly different. So maybe this car's had a bit of a knock on a rear quarter, and obviously when it was 5 years old, this would have still been worth saving. So I guess it was repaired and put back on the road. And if you think about it, 2013 to now, that's what, 12 years that this thing's been happily running around. So I'm not too worried, and we're going to be using it as a track car. So a good condition R56 with the aero kit and this spec, you're probably looking about 3,500, maybe a little bit more. So I think even with its category marker, I still think £2,000 was a really good price for this car, considering what we've got. We've got some impressive cable tie action going on. So yeah, we've got that one there that is holding it on potentially to that one there. All right, well, we'll cut those off and see what else is there. And with everything undone, we should give it a little wiggle. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that is an AirTech front mount intercooler. Oh, hello. Yeah, okay. This has had some money spent on it over the years. We've got to remove this front upper support section. So a couple of bolts either side, and we can think about getting that out of the way. We need to take the headlights out both sides, and we've got a bit of a surprise on this one because it looks like the headlight clip for the front panel is actually broken off, not the headlight. We've got to remove the bonnet catches because they bolt through this front panel as well. and behind the washer bottle, there's a bolt that goes in from behind that I might have just accidentally rounded off. Okay, so a bit of an update. We're probably an hour into this, and we're there or thereabouts. We've having a bit of a battle with the washer bottle. So yeah, we're going to take the washer bottle out, and then hopefully we can get access onto the back of that rounded bolt. And I think that's all that's stopping us. Next time you see this car, it'll have this this front panel off. I mean, sometimes you just can't find the bucket, so a safety hat I'll have to do. That bolt, turns out it had a Torx bit in the end, but it's out. We used some easy outs to get it out, so it means that the front panel now should be ready to come off. So yeah, with the help of some of those, or one of those, the right size, we've managed to get that off. And with the crash bar out the way, we've got a couple of more bolts to take off, and then we should be able to just wiggle this radiator support forward. Now with that pulled forward a bit, we might have enough room down here to get onto the flange without disturbing the AC lines, the coolant pipes, or the intercooler pipes. So fingers crossed. Another reason we need to make some room is to get this heat shield off. So we need to take the lambda out, because obviously that goes through the heat shield. And everything we've taken off up to this point has been to give us access to get this heat shield off. And with that out the way, we've got access to the 3 bolts that hold the downpipe on. Okay, so looking here, we can see definitely decatted. I mean, it looks like a pretty good quality decat. The welds are pretty good. But it's not going to do, is it? So with those last couple of bolts out, we can get that gravity sports cat in, and then that should be good enough for the MOT. And there we go, one offending decat. I mean, it looks like it's really well made, but it's not going to pass the MOT no matter how well it's made. Looking down here, we can see it's a bit oily because it used to have an oil leak, but we can clean that off. Now looking at the turbo here, you can see it has in fact pulled the studs out a little bit. So we're going to need to wind those back in before we can put the new one on. Now we've replaced the damaged stud because the threads were all chewed up. It's never going to go back. So we've used what we had in the barn. Now obviously this one is slightly smaller, but it's still tight. It sticks all the way through. We're happy with it. We've got the sports cat is all installed behind the heat shield. And then we need to put the lambda sensor in here. And then actually the car, in theory, would run. But there's still a lot to put back together, and we're going to need to do some repairs to the bumper. We're going to need to do some repairs to the headlight and the front panel. So there's still quite a bit of work to do. And while I touch up these exposed screw holes with some Chip-X that we had left over from a previous video, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because only 20% of the people watching this video are subscribed. End of day one, where are we? Well, we've got the sport cat in, we've got the front panel back on, all bolted up, we've got the lights in, so we need to fix the front bumper tomorrow. Then we've got to do the discs and pads, we've got to sort the rear brake caliper out as well. And then I think we're ready to get it back on the road. I mean, we're going to need some tyres, so we need to sort that as well. But actually, it's been a productive day, guys. We've got so much done. Sam has absolutely been a superstar on this today. So hopefully tomorrow, between the two of us, we can get this thing buttoned up and ready for its MOT. Day 2, and I'm on my way back up to the barn. And I think we got a lot done yesterday. I mean, we only fitted the sport cap, but actually that was the time-consuming job. Fingers crossed, we've got discs and pads on the front today, a rear caliper on the back. We've got to sort out that front bumper as well, because that corner is just all mangled and mashed up and horrible. So I need to make that passable. And then we need to get the front bumper fitted back up. So there isn't a huge amount to do. I ordered the tyres for it last night, so they'll be here tomorrow. They're £187 from Demon Tweaks, plus I've got to get them fitted. So yeah, so not cheap, but that should be it. We should have everything we need for this car. So let's get into the barn and take a look. I think we should start with the bumper today because we need to let that dry before we fit it back up. So I can get on with the rest of the bits and pieces like the brakes while that's all going off. So look, I'm not a body shop guy, and I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments saying this is not the right way to do it. And you're right, but this is the way I'm going to do it. It's a track car. Maybe down the line I can always buy an undamaged front bumper, but for now we just need to get this back together so we can get it out on track and we can deal with it later. And who knows, it might be a half decent job. So this is the offending bumper here, and you can see that the previous owner had, I don't even know. I mean, it looks like, I don't know. I mean, they're too long to be the plastic weld staples. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to cut that off and then see about sort of bonding this corner back together. Right, so I need to reattach this corner piece. So what I've done is I've trimmed this little piece of plastic. I think it's like a cap off a brand new battery or something. So we've cut it so that it will go just into that recess there. So you can see that it goes in perfectly. So with that in place and on there and all lined up, I might just have to trim this little top corner off because that seems to be sticking out a bit further than this. But basically that'll give us a point of reference, but also something to glue to the back of this bumper as well. I thought I had some black JB Weld plastic weld, and I know that stuff is super tough, but I haven't, and we need to get cracking with this. So I've got some Gorilla epoxy that I picked up on the way into the barn this morning. It dries in 5 minutes, so I guess we'll find out pretty quickly if this is gonna do the job. Yep, it's been 5 minutes, and yeah, we've got a little red tab securely glued onto there. So that means that this can just slot in place here, and then that will all line up nicely, and we can see that we've actually got quite a big hole here which we can fill with epoxy, and then once that's all gone off we can sand it flat and hopefully it'll look acceptable. I mean, this is going to be a track car, so it doesn't need to be perfect. Obviously I could spend a lot of time and effort getting this nice, doing it properly, but I think, do you know what, for what I need it for, this is going to work. I can always buy another front bumper. These things are super easy to get hold of. Right, filled it full of epoxy, held it in place for 5 minutes, but I'll put some tape on it just to keep it still. So I put some tape on it because I thought it would be best to hold it in place to save me having to sit here for 5-10 minutes until this had gone off. And it means I've been able to just sort of get the brakes ready to go ahead and start on those. So looking at that, I think we've got it all in the right place. This lines up down here, which is great. The overall shape looks okay. I'm going to put some more epoxy just in this gap here, and then once it's gone off, we can always just sand it and get it flat. While we wait for the epoxy to fully cure on that front bumper, it's going to be an hour or two, we can get on with the front brakes because we've got that judder under braking, and then we've also got the rear caliper to sort out first. But let's get on with the front brakes here. So the pads are pretty low. The discs don't feel particularly great. You can almost feel a waviness on the surface of the disc, which is really bad. So we're going to get these changed. And of course, we're going with, yeah, you guessed it, a set of M-Tech grooved and drilled discs for the front of this. We fitted them to the Mondeo, they're brilliant. I've put them on my brother's Volvo, they're brilliant. So again, we're going with the M-Tech discs and the Mintex pads. It seems to be a great combination, and hopefully it'll do me well on track. These are really straightforward and just like any other set of front brakes. If you turn your steering wheel, you've got easier access to your carrier bolts. It makes it 10 times easier. And while I'm cleaning this up, we're just going to pop the slide bolts out. And actually, these are in really good shape. Look, they're well lubricated. Happy with that. And with it all rubbed down and cleaned off, it's time to get these new discs installed. I think they're going to look amazing. Now we've just got to do the same again on the other side. With the front done, it's time to turn our attention to the rear. And actually, it doesn't look that bad. Even though this caliper is sticking, Yeah, the disc is in really good condition. It almost looks brand new. And the pads, again, there's so much meat on these. They look brand new. So what I think's happened is where this car has been off the road since January, I think this caliper's just stuck on the handbrake. And where it hasn't been driven, it hasn't actually done any damage to the disc or the pads. Now, ideally, I want to change these for some matching ones to the front, but to keep the budget down, we're just gonna run these like it is for now, and then maybe just before I take it on track, I'll upgrade the rears. But for now, I think we just need to replace this caliper. We've got some brand new calipers. Hopefully it's just going to be this one, but seeing as we've got two, we might just change both anyway. And yeah, I think it's same as the front really. Let's get this undone and then we can just pop this new caliper on. Typically it's not red, so I think looking at the state of the front calipers as well, we might have to spend a whole day with some sandpaper and some caliper paint. But yeah, look, here we go. We've got a nice shiny brand new rear caliper that will sit nicely on the back here. The handbrake off, we've got plenty of slack, so that is off. That is interesting, I guess. We don't need wear sensors where we're going. So yes, with that off, yeah, we've got to crack off the hydraulic line, which is just under here. And then we can pop this off. And while I get this caliper off, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop me a comment down below to let me know you're here, because the comment section on some of these mini videos is pretty quiet. Let me know what you think. Should I have bought this or should I have bought an R53? And with the caliper off, we can see how much meat is on those rear pads. They are literally brand new. So for now, I think we'll run those again. I mean, they're brand new. If I do change them, which I really want to, it's because I want them to match the fronts. So it's mainly a cosmetic thing. But what we're trying to do here is show that you can have a daily driver that is a weekend track toy that doesn't break the bank. And so far, I think we're in a good place with this car. And now I can just start winding the caliper off. And if I'm quick, I can swap the caliper over, wind the new one on without losing too much fluid or any at all. And with it all back together, look, one finger. Yes, that is sorted. Oh, I'm so excited. We've got everything done now. We just need to get this front end buttoned up and then we're done. We can get it off the axle stands and yeah, this thing is out of the barn and ready for an MOT. Well, we're still waiting for those new tires to arrive. But other than that, we're good. And Sam couldn't have timed it any better because he's just arrived. So he's here just in time to help me put this front end back together and then we're done. Well, we started this together and we're gonna finish it together. So we've got the front bumper back on, we're just testing the lights and everything looks good. Right, and with it all back together, but we still need to get an MOT on this and I'm waiting for those tires to arrive. So for tonight, we're gonna leave it here. And there we go. It's all back together. We're out the barn. It's running like an absolute dream. The exhaust still sounds good. A little bit quieter, but it's no bad thing. And yeah, we just need to go and get these tires fitted and drop it off for an MOT. And for those of you that think I should have bought an R53 instead of an R56, well, maybe I bought both. But that's another video. So in the meantime, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to see some videos on an R53, have a look at my red one here.